What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. And is Yildiz being disrespected? How crazy that sounds, because the propaganda is, I think, at an all-time high, because you have Chelsea fans debating why they didn't sign Yildiz in the summer, even though there was not a single link that they were signing Yildiz or Yildiz was going to leave. So the face, the brand Yildiz is hot, but he's still being disrespected, and that was coming from the Ballon d'Or thing, and the media is picking it up. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. Okay, so is Yildiz being disrespected? I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, for the people who love to hold on to the media, and this is the media, the Copa Trophy. I'm not gonna lie, really quickly, I don't care about that trophy. I don't think even the players in it really care about that trophy, because I don't even know what that trophy means. Like, they come up with trophies every single, like, I think the Golden Boy trophy from Tuttosport has more awareness than the Copa Trophy, in my opinion, because that is basically the how do you want to call it? The rival of the Golden Boy trophy of Tuttosport, even though the Golden Boy trophy gets more awareness. However, this was the list. Yamal, Dewey, Neves, fantastic seasons. Estevao, not a single living soul in Europe, and I'm going to be honest, was watching the Brazilian league to watch Estevao. That's one. And when he came to Chelsea, now he played less minutes, I think, than Colt Miners this season. Like, there is no debate who's the better player. So disrespect, yes, but that comes if it is in the media. I don't think the fans or fans from other clubs, like the prop is at an all-time high, because now he's getting recognized by a lot of fan bases, and clubs around Europe, but especially he's been talked about and he's being respected, in my opinion. However, he will always be disrespected in terms of awareness to winning stuff, because the club he's playing in, Juve, right now, is not at the top. It's as simple as that, and that is where I think a lot of people have a fear that at one point Yildiz might be, okay, I want to win stuff. And we're clearly not moving in the direction we're going to win stuff. And I know the talk right now is, I want to stay as long as I can, etc. But also keep in mind, every time he adds, I want to win, I want to win, I want to win with Juve. But as a player, you also need to think about your own career. And that's not me saying, please leave because you deserve better. No. Right now, like, I hope he stays forever. I think everyone hopes that. But the club needs to do better. That is my point. Because if the club does better, I asked that question to Julian on the podcast, and I'll ask you that as well. Let's say Yildiz was in the team of the 2015 final team we had. So the same team, but Yildiz was in there and could have played. If we had that team, those type of players, do you think he will be in contention for winning this potentially, or being on the list of the Ballon d'Or? Yes, 100%. Like, players like Scott McTominay, who had a fantastic season, Cole Palmer, who had a rubbish second part of last season, are on that list, for example. They're on that list. So Declan Rice is on that list. Like, let's be real. If you saw the list in 2003 and all those seasons, and you compare it to the list right now, you think it's a different trophy. The quality has massively dip. That's one. But it all depends, like, these things. That's why I don't really care about about these trophies, because there's no way that Pedri is the 11 best player in the world. There's no possible way that is correct. Let's be completely honest, there's no way certain players are that high on the list. There's absolutely no way. Gyökeres, yes, he had a fantastic season. Haaland had a poor season. He was not on the list. Nobody's taking Gyökeres over Haaland, for example. So the trophy, the list, whatever, it's fun and games. I get it. It's media attention, etc. But the moment your team plays well, is in contention for winning stuff, and actually, being in the spotlight, and actually being good as well, not just being there in the spotlight. Like, Inter was in the spotlight, but they got smoked, so you're not going to get recognized for getting smoked in the spotlight. You need to be in contention, and that's not on him. Well, we're going to need Yildiz to do that, but the team, the club, needs to do much better. So is he being disrespected? Not, I think he's got awareness because I've seen it, like that was a debate, it's disrespect, etc. I don't think he's, losing sleep over it. I don't think Yamal is losing sleep. Oh my God, I won the Copa trophy. Like, I don't think that's the case at all. However, if the club is good, Yildiz will be like, it's just automatic. That's how it works. And he's gonna need to help us get there, but the club is gonna need to help everyone around the Yildiz to actually bring the team higher up, and then you will get that recognition just by default. We were, remember, the top 11. We had Bonucci in there, Chiellini or Buffon. Like, we had players in it basically consistently because we were at the top. Yes, we lost 2 finals, but we were at the top. We were one of the best clubs in Europe for a very long period, and we should have won the Champions League. We didn't, and that's the sport. That's how it goes. But we were respected. We were up there. We were feared. We played our chances against anyone, and it went well, it went bad. That's how it goes. That's football at the end of the day. You play top clubs, but we were there. We're not even close right now. We struggle against Dortmund at home. We are fearful to go away to Villarreal. That was not the case those times. Like, there was a period of time where we were going to the Bernabeu or going to Bayern Munich, and I was like, yeah, tough game, but we're gonna play for it. Why not? We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't fear them. We just go for it because why not? I don't think the difference is that much. Like that, those times are completely gone. And players were in contention. Players were getting recognized and not disrespected, like many might say. Now, is that the biggest worry right now? No, I don't think we should be worried about that. But if this keeps on for maybe a year or 2, 3, players are not going to stay. Let's just be real. At the end of the day, if I'm a player and not a diehard fan of that club, I want to win stuff. I want to do something with my career. That's just how it is. It's natural, and we shouldn't be mad about that. If you want to be mad about that, you should be mad with the club about it, not with the players. So that's all I'm trying to say. I don't really care about the trophy, but it was a talking point. And right now, I think Yildiz is getting a lot of recognition. He's getting respected. He's getting viewed as one of the best young players out there. The great potential, etc. And that's all true. That's all correct, and he deserves that because he's showing up for us this season, even in the Champions League. So that is good for us. It's good for him. It's good for us, obviously. But to be it perfect, for it to be perfect for everyone, we need to win stuff. We need to compete. We need to get back up there, and then you will just get much, much more out of him. And by default, other players, because if you're up there and you have these type of players and you play at the top, better players want to play for you. It's much easier to attract better players when you have a decent setup and you have players like him playing around whoever you want to bring in. So is he disrespected? Maybe when it comes to these type of trophies, but we shouldn't really care about that. For now, enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it boils down to winning, and the club needs to get back up there. Otherwise, players will make decisions. No matter what they say in front of the media, they will make certain decisions, we all would make if we were those set players. So in the comments, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.